Now let's have a look at the cost of creating offline courses. So let's go to the sheet offline courses. And here you're going to see our calculations. So we start by calculating how actually many courses we have to deliver. By delivering, we mean that we gather a group and we present to them the content. So as you can see, annually we have to do 24 deliveries. And this is based on the calculation of how many people we've got. So we've got 15 people and then we have a group of 5 people. So it means that if we would have to deliver just one course, we would do it in 3 groups. So we divided the number of people by the size of the group, and that's how we got. Since we don't have one course but 8, this is why we get 24. So here we've got a calculation. Then we decide how many of them we're going to do internally and externally. So here we have 15 being delivered internally. So we have to obviously create content for them if we don't have it, and then obviously deliver them. We calculate using the total number of courses delivered from previous calculation and assumption on the percentage which we're going to deliver ourselves. Since we assume 60%, this is how we got 15. This obviously means that in row 15, in terms of number of courses delivered externally, we have 9. So the leftover from 24. Why we do it? We do it because the internally and externally delivered courses will have different costs per delivery. That's why we have to do it independently. Then we do estimation of the cost of content preparation for the internal courses. We estimated this to be 7,000, and we did it by looking first of all how many man hours we have to devote to that and what is the cost of the man hour. We assume here that this will be done by BA associates level people. When it comes to man hours, we calculate it by looking at number of man hours we have to devote per one course and number of courses we have to internally create. So we assume that we're going to create 2, and then 1 will take us roughly 158 hours. That's why we have 316 hours. Bear in mind that this number, so 2 internal courses, does nothing to do with the number of delivery of the courses, because we might be delivering courses that have been previously developed. So let's have a look at the cost of delivery, and we calculate them separately for internal courses and separately for external courses. When it comes to internal courses, we look at the number of delivery that we have previously calculated in row 11, so 15, and we have a certain cost per one delivery. The delivery cost is simply calculated by looking at how many man hours we have to devote to that. So it's like 16, and then we have a cost of 1 man hour. That's why we have 332 euro per one delivery. This obviously means that we assume that we're going to do it internally within our office, so there's no additional cost of a venue and things like that. And that's why it is relatively low, so it's 5,000. Now, the cost of delivering courses externally is much higher. And this is due to the fact that we have a much higher cost per one delivery of the course. So in the case of internal cost, it was 332 euro, so just the time of the person who is delivering. And here it's actually 10 times higher, mainly due to the fact that we have many components. So we have to pay the trainer, which is half of the price, but there are also other things we have to cover, so hotels, venue, transportation, etc. In total, it means that we would have to pay only 34,000 for the delivery of external courses. Now, so far we have not calculated the cost of consuming. So the fact that our students have to spend some time on that, it also is in a sense cost. So what we're going to do in row 40 is calculate how many man hours they have to devote to content consumption. Obviously, we mean here just the students. So we have number of courses consumed, and we have a course duration being 10 hours. That's why we have 1,200 hours of consumption. The number of courses consumed is calculated by using previous assumption. So we know that we have 15 people, so we have the number of people, and then we know how many courses they will participate in. So on average, as we said in row 7, they will participate in 8 courses. That's why in total they will consume 120 courses. And those courses from the perspective of a student last 10 hours. That's why we get this number. And obviously, we turn this into value of money. So we have in row 46 value of man hours devoted. So it's 25,000. And again, this is a simple multiplication of the number of hours we have put into consumption. So it's 1,200, and then the average cost per one man hour. Bear in mind that we look here at the cost of man hours, so how much we pay the business analyst. We don't look at the revenue lost, which would be another way to look at that. So this brings us to the total amount of costs. So it would cost 71,000, and the biggest cost is obviously cost of delivering courses by external coach trainer, then the value of man-hours devoted to content consumption on the student side, and obviously content preparation and content delivery when it comes to internal courses. We did exactly the same thing when it comes to man-hours, so we have summarized them here as well. So in row 62, we have a total man-hours devoted to offline courses, and you can have a look at that as well. So let's move on and see how online courses can be modeled.